so today's makeup tutorial is on a very special guest of mine. This is my wonderful friend Nikita, and today I've created a really beautiful brown smoky eye with a hint of gold through it with a nude lip. So to start off, I'm going to be priming her skin with Strobe Cream by MAC. Now she has quite dry skin, so I always like to just give a little bit of extra luminosity and moisture to my client's skin, so I always use Strobe Cream by MAC. For foundation today, I'm actually going to be using Nikita's foundations, which is the Born This Way by Too Faced and the Superstay by Maybelline. So she is in between colours at the moment, that's why I've mixed the two. I'm going to evenly disperse the foundation all over her face and then use a wet beauty blender to buff that all in. We are going to be going for a really nice full flawless coverage today. Now just to let you guys know as well, her foundation is a warm undertone, so it does sit a little yellow on her skin for a couple of minutes in the frame, but once the foundation warms to the skin, it settles down and looks very natural. To conceal under her eyes, as always, I'm going to be using my Prolong Wear Concealer by MAC. I just find this is a really true, faithful concealer to me because it does have that technology to not crepe and crease like general concealers. I lay that under her eyes and then onto her lids and then blend it in with a wet beauty blender again. Now to set everything into place, I'm going to be using my Invisible Loose Setting Powder by Dermablend, and this is my absolute favourite powder at the moment. It's great because you can use it on all skin types, but it just creates a really nice soft matte veil to the skin. So I've placed that all over her face and then a little bit over her lid just to set her concealer before I lay down the eyeshadow. Now I'm going to take the Dermablend underneath her eyes and I'm going to help set and bake her concealer, and this is also going to act as a little bit of a catcher for when I do her eyeshadow and any fallout does drop, I'll be able to sweep it away. Moving on to brows, I'm going to be using the Dipbrow Pomade by Anastasia Beverly Hills in the colour dark brown. So Nikita is like notorious for having the most amazing brows. If you guys have seen her work on her Instagram, which I'll link down below, she honestly does the most amazing eye and brow tutorials, so I felt a little bit of pressure doing her eyebrows. But anyways, I always like to start at the arch when I use a pomade, and then I take it out to the tail and then I work my way inwards to create a really nice defined shape to kind of like more of a thicker brow and more defined brow, and then as you can see I'm just taking it inwards and just creating more of a ombre look at the front. Then I'm going to take my Prolong Wear Concealer with a very fine detailed brush and I'm going to line the bottom of her brow just to create a really clean defined look to her brow. Acting as a base to the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using the Zoeva matte eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be using this kind of vanilla-y matte eyeshadow, and I'm going to place this all over her lids. So today I'm mainly going to be working from the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. I was so excited, this is the first time I'm ever working with it. So I'm going to be using this really nice kind of soft apricot-y transition colour into her crease, and I'm going to be using a fluffy brush and I'm going to be working that in back and forth just to create a really nice contoured shape to her lids. Now going back to that palette, I'm going to go a shade darker, and I'm just going to be repeating practically the same motion but focusing a little bit more of my blending on the outer corners of the eye to create some real depth. Now to create that really nice brown smokiness to her eye, I'm going to take this dark chocolate brown and place it to the outer corner of her eyes with a flat pan detail brush. I love to use more of a flat pan brush when applying more heavy pigmented shadow because the payout is a lot more thicker and vibrant. So I'm going to apply that to the outer V of her eye, and I love for her to always kind of just slightly look at me so I know where the eyeshadow is going to be sitting. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and I'm going to blend that just mainly to the middle of the eye and back to the outer corner, and then I'm going to apply a little bit more to deepen the look of the drama of the eye. Now to add a cut crease effect to her eye, I'm going to be using my Prolong Wear Concealer from earlier on, and again using a fine tipped flat detailed brush to apply it, and I do that about halfway into the eye, and this acts like a primer to my eyeshadow. So I'm actually going to be using this gold one that I've circled, not the two pink ones that I've pointed to with my brush. I had a sudden change of mind, and I'm going to be patting that onto the concealer. The concealer's like half dry, which I like because it really grips onto the shadow and it doesn't fall. One thing I do have to say about this eyeshadow palette, absolutely loved the pigments. so beautiful, but I did find that there was quite a lot of excess fallout, which I was a bit gutted about because I was quite worried it was going to muck up, you know, underneath the eyes. I was going to get a lot onto the foundation, even though I did lay down a translucent powder to sweep away. That would be my only thing. Other than that, I really like the vibrance of the pigments. I thought the palette was really beautifully created. I was just, yeah, the fallout was a little bit of a disappointment. That's the only thing I can really fault about the eyeshadow palette. Now that I've done the major work on her eyes, I'm going to sweep away that Dermablend powder that I laid down earlier on to do some baking on her concealer. Just going to help with any creping and creasing, but it also is just going to help remove any excess fallout from that eyeshadow. To create a wing liner on Nikita, I'm going to be using my Pretty Easy liquid liner by Clinique. Love this product. The one way I do keep it sanitized is spritzing the end every time that I use it with my cleaner. You do find that it does dry it out quite quickly, so the longevity of it isn't as great as using a gel liner. So I'm just going to be getting her to look at me while I sweep that across her lid just to make sure I'm getting it nice and even. So now I'm going to place some mascara on Nikita's lashes. I'm going to be using this Maybelline mascara here. It's completely up to you if you want to use mascara before or after applying false lashes. I personally prefer before because I like to get them nice and thick and dark before I apply them. And I'm going to be using a disposable wand to apply it. If you guys are wondering where I get my disposable wands from, I picked them up from AliExpress for like, I don't know, like 50 for $3. Now to bronze Nikita's skin, I'm going to be using the chocolate bronzer powder by Too Faced, and this smells divine. Oh my god, I've never smelled it before. It smells so good. So I'm just going to be giving her a little bit of a sun-kissed look to her complexion because we haven't got any major colour going on after putting down her foundation. So I put it around the hollows of her cheeks and her temple just to warm up her complexion. Now I'm going to lay down her lashes. Honestly, it was just a random order that I did everything, but these lashes are by House of Lash, so I will link them down below. To add some colour to her cheeks, I'm going to be using the Papadone Peach blush by Too Faced. This is a really beautiful blush. It just gives a nice kind of peachy look to her cheeks, and it has a soft shimmer in it as well. So I just use a big fluffy brush, and just to give more of a natural complexion, I like to take it quite close to the nose and then upwards as well. It just looks more natural, I feel. To highlight, I'm going to be using the Notorious Champagne Pop by Becca Cosmetics, and I'm just going to be placing this on the highest points of her cheekbones to give a really nice glowy look, through her cupid's bow on her lips, and then through the bridge of her nose. I'm also going to place the highlighter underneath the arch of her brow and then into the inner corners of her tear ducts just to brighten up those areas. For her lips today, I'm doing a mixture of liquid lipstick, so I'm going to be using Nude by Gerard Cosmetics and Cool Girl by Too Faced. So before I do that, I'm going to be laying down a lip liner. This is in the colour Blush by Clinique, and I'm just going to be creating a really nice shape to her lips, and then I'm mixing the two liquid lipsticks together and applying it onto her lips. I'm a little bit disappointed with the colour only because I didn't realise it was going to set as nude as what it did. I wish I had a bit more colour to her lips just to kind of even out and balance the rest of her face. To add a little bit more of a voluptuous look to her lips, I've just added a little bit of gloss to the center of her lips. Now I'm going to smoke out underneath her eyes using the Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette from earlier on, and I'm going to be using a fine detailed brush by XO Beauty and blending it along her waterline. And Nikita isn't used to someone else playing with her eyes, so I told her just to help them from watering, look to the roof and open her mouth. It helps a lot when your eyes are starting to water and they feel like they're going to stream. Then I'm going to be blending out that powder and then going in with the KHOL eyeliner by Chi Chi. This is just going to create a really nice smokiness to her eye, so I'm going to be doing that along the waterline and inside her waterline, taking a brush, blending it out, and then applying a couple of coats of mascara to her bottom lashes. Then to finish the look, I'm going to be setting it with the HydraMist spray by Gerard Cosmetics, which I do have a discount code for, which I'll link down below for you guys. So there you go. I really hope you guys have enjoyed my transformation on my beautiful client Nikita today and learned a couple of tips and tricks along the way. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already a part of it and want to see more videos like this. And until next time guys, have a lovely day and I will see you soon. Bye!